kids, and welcome to Science is the Bomb with Mrs. Holderbaum. Remember, scientists like to explore, ask questions, try new things. And today we're going to be learning how to do some experimenting with pennies. The reason I chose this for our science today is because I was thinking about how last weekend was President's Weekend, and President's Weekend is a time to remember some of the great presidents that we have had throughout history. And on the penny is one of our most famous presidents from history, Abraham Lincoln. So first today, I'm going to start out with a little informational story about Abraham Lincoln so you can learn some things about him. And then I'm going to show you a couple different science experiments that you can do with pennies, and you can choose to do one of the experiments, or if you want to, you can try all of them. So I'm going to change the direction of my camera so that we can learn a few things about Abraham Lincoln. So I have a little informational text here that says, Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12th, 1809 to Nancy and Thomas Lincoln in a one-room log cabin in Hardin County, Kentucky. And there's a drawing of it, and there's a real picture of it too. So he was born in a little cabin in Kentucky in February, the month that we're in right now. As a boy, Abraham Lincoln loved to read books. He was mostly self-taught because both his parents were illiterate. That means his parents didn't know how to read, and he had to help support his family. Lincoln's formal schooling was limited to 3 brief periods in local schools. So a lot of the things that he learned, he taught himself. In the year 1842, Abraham Lincoln married Mary Todd from Kentucky. The Lincolns went on to have 4 children. In November 1860, Abraham Lincoln, who became a lawyer and legislator, was elected the 16th president of the United States. There's a picture of him. So sometimes he had a beard and sometimes he didn't have a beard. So he was the 16th president. Soon, the Civil War began. The war lasted 4 years, and during that time, Abraham Lincoln gave a historical speech known as the Gettysburg Address. The Gettysburg Address encouraged the North to keep fighting and not give up. He also signed an executive order known as the Emancipation Proclamation. This order called for the end of slavery for all people in 10 states. So there was a war, but it ended up helping to cause the end of slavery. And here's a few extra facts about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was very tall. He was known for his signature tall black hat and for his beard. So many times he had a beard. Abraham Lincoln is on the penny. So there's a picture of Abraham Lincoln, that's him, on the front of the penny. And he is also on the $5 bill. The Lincoln Memorial is located in Washington, D.C. in his memory. Abraham Lincoln was known to be very honest. People would also call him Honest Abe. So the next time you have a $5 bill, check it out too and look and see if you can see his face on there, Abraham Lincoln. And today we're going to do some experimenting with pennies. Maybe when you get out your penny, observe it closely and look at it. See if you can see Abraham Lincoln's picture on there. Okay? And if you notice on the back of the penny, there's this building. This is the Lincoln Memorial, which is a building located in Washington, D.C. to remember him. And inside of this building, there's a big statue of Abraham Lincoln. And I think if you look super, super closely, you might even be able to see it right there on the penny. You might have to look at it on your own. See what you notice about your penny. So the the first thing I'm going to show you today is a little experiment in which we're going to do a little bit of math, actually. We're going to be flipping a penny to see how many times it lands on heads. This side of the penny is called the head side, and this side of the penny is called the tail side. And I'm going to teach you how to make some tally marks to show what your results are. So on my piece of paper, I'm going to write down heads. And then down here, I'm going to write down tails. Now, we're going to flip the penny and see. I'm going to flip it 10 times. I'm going to see how many times it lands on heads and how many times does it land on tails. And I'll make some tally marks to show. So when you flip it, if you want, you can just shake it and drop it like this. Ooh, looks like I got heads. So I'm going to make one line. That's called a tally mark. Or if you want to flip it, you could also put it on your thumb like this and kind of pop it up in the air and go. And then see what it lands on. That time I got heads again. So that my penny doesn't go flying all over, I think I'll just shake it. So I did 1, 2, 3. I got tails. 4. I got heads. 5. Tails. 6. My 6th one, I got tails. Put the tailing mark there. Tails. 4. So far I did that 7 times. 8. Oh, I got tails again. Now, when you're making tally marks and you have a set of 5, instead of making another line, you draw a line through it to show a group of 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way you can easily see your group. That's called a tally mark. So so far I did it 8 times. So here's 9. Oh, I got tails again. And 10. Oh, tails again. So let's see how many I got. I got 1, 2, 3. 3 for heads. And 5, 6, 7 for tails. Well, you can give that experiment a try and see what you come up with. Flip your penny 10 times, see how many heads you get, see how many tails you get. Maybe you'll get something different than me. If you want, you can even flip your penny more than 10 times. Maybe you could flip it 20 times, maybe even 100 times. Give it a try, see what you come up with. Practice making your tally marks while you do it too. All right. So that's one idea for some things one idea I had for things you could do with a penny. And now I'm going to show you another experiment that you could do with a penny. Okay. I'm going to aim my camera down again at my penny. Now, you might not have one of these at home, but I'm going to use this little tool called a pipette. And what I want to do is I'm going to use this pipette to put some drops of water on my penny. And I wonder how many drops of water can I fit on one penny? How many drops of water can I fit on one penny? So I got a cup of water. I have my penny. And I'm going to use this to make some water drops. Now, I think you might even be able to make some drops of water just with your finger, and you could hold it right over the penny and put a drop of water on. So you could do it that way too, if you don't have an eyedropper or a pipette at home, because you might not have one of those. So I wonder how many little drops of water could I fit on top of a penny before it spills over the edge. I'm going to guess. I'm going to make a prediction. So I'm going to think, gosh, my penny's pretty little, and I see that one drop of water I just dropped on with my finger. It just covered that much. All right, I'm going to guess maybe 7 drops of water would fit on there. So sometimes scientists make a prediction. So I'm going to write down right here, predict. I'm going to predict 7. And then I'm going to find out what's real. What do I find out? So let's see how many. Let's see if I'm right. Sometimes scientists like to do that. They like to make a guess, and then they do a test to see if their guess is right. So I need to carefully squeeze my pipette, and I'm going to keep adding drops until they spill over the edge. So far I already have one on there from my finger. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, it's already up to 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Ooh, it looks like, look at when I got to 22. Do you guys see how the water is starting to spill off the edge now right there? It looks like I got up to, looks like I predicted 7, and then it got to 22 before it spilled off the edge of my penny. Give it a try. See what you find out. Remember, you don't have to use that little pipette. You could just stick your finger in there and let the water drip from your finger onto the penny also. Do it a couple times. See what happens. Like, I wonder if I did it again, would I still get 22, or could I fit more drops of water on the penny? I wonder why. Why does that happen? Okay. So remember, you could do it without the pipette too. Just put your finger in the water and then let some water drip off your finger onto the penny. So you could do it that way too. Okay, guys? So that's my second experiment with pennies. So we did heads and tails. We did how many drops of water fit on a penny. And now I'm going to clear that off and dry my little area. Okay, now I have another experiment that you could try. Okay, here are the things you would need to do this one. All right, you would need a stack of pennies, about that many. It's up to you how many you want to try it with. Maybe you could try this with different amounts. Then you need a jar or a glass or a cup and a piece of cardboard, or it could be like, if you have any junk mail, like a little postcard that you get in the mail. And what you do is you put the cardboard on top of the jar, and then you put the pennies like this in a stack on top of the cardboard. Now, in this experiment, what we're going to do is we're going to see what would happen if I hit the piece of cardboard. Like, what would happen if I hit it? Will the pennies go flying everywhere? Will they go up in the air? Will they go down into the jar? What will happen? Now, when you do it, you have to kind of hit the cardboard fast, all right? And not hit the pennies, just the cardboard. So let me give it a try. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to hit it really hard and see what happens to those pennies. Whoop. Oh my gosh, do you guys see that? They all just fell straight down into the jar. The reason that happens is because when the pennies aren't moving and I don't hit them, they stay at rest. An object at rest stays at rest. And then when I hit the cardboard, the energy from my hand made the cardboard move. So only the cardboard flew off, and then the gravity pulled the pennies down into the jar. Give it a try. See if you guys can do that. That one was, I feel like that was kind of fun because I thought maybe the pennies were going to fly all over the room when I hit it that hard, but they didn't. They just went straight down into the jar. That's kind of fun. All right, I have one more I'm going to try to show you. Okay, remember, you can choose which one you want. So for this one, I've got another stack of pennies. You can make your stack of pennies however high you want. Okay, I call this experiment the penny slider. So you get your pennies, then you get another penny, and what you're going to do is you're going to flick the penny and aim for the penny to hit the bottom penny on the stack. And if you hit it just right, only the bottom penny should move. Kind of like how just the cardboard moved and the other pennies fell in the jar. So let's see if I can do it. I tried this a few times before my live video, and it did take me a couple tries to get it to work. So I'm going to flick the penny and aim right for the bottom. So let's see if I can do it. Ready? Whoops. Let me try again. I'm not that good at, I feel like it's kind of like a sport. I'm not that good at sports. So maybe I got to keep trying until I get it. All right. Because my aim is bad. Ah! Come on, Mrs. Holderbaum. Almost got it that time. Let's try again. I bet you guys will be better at this than me. Try again. Come on. I just got to hit that penny right on the bottom. Maybe if I just slide it. That time it worked. You might have noticed that finally I hit this penny on the bottom. And then what happened was this penny, when I hit it, this penny slid out. But look, the rest of the stack stayed there. They didn't fall over. And the reason is because with my motion, I make a force, and then the energy from this penny hits this one, and the motion makes that one slide out. But because these ones weren't touched, they don't move. Objects at rest stay at rest. All right. So I'll see if I can do it. I'll see if I can do it one more time. Maybe you guys can try it a couple times at home. I think I'm not hitting it hard enough. There, it worked. It looks like, see, this penny slid out. This one hit. These ones stayed on the stack. And then this penny slid out. All right. So there's a few things that you guys can try with pennies. So remember, you can look for Abraham Lincoln on the back of the penny. You can look for the Lincoln Memorial. Then you can choose an experiment to try. You can flip a penny and see how many times you get heads and tails. You could get water. See how many drops you can fit on a penny. You could get a jar or a cup or a glass, put a postcard or a piece of cardboard on top and a stack of pennies and hit it. See if you can get the pennies to fall in the jar. Or you can try the penny slider. Make a stack, slide a penny, and see if you can just get one penny to slide out. So, thanks for watching Science is the Bomb with Mrs. Holderbaum. I hope that you have fun trying your science experiments today. Have a great day. Bye, kids.